Alright, so this team is all centered around Sporling Sprout, HH breed, because he is surprisingly tanky with his crouch ability, plus he heals up for a lot with Leech Seed and his humanoid racial, and since he's an HH breed with almost, a little more than 1700, he heals up for a respectable amount every round. If he just does damage because of his humanoid racial. So basically you just take less damage and then heal up. Most people don't expect him to heal up as much as he does, so he's really fun to play with in PvP because you don't really see him very often, and he's actually really good. And then I have my anti-Valk magical crawdad. I was using him instead of what I usually use to counter undeads, and my Madokami. I like to use this guy sometimes. He's a lot weaker, but he heals for a lot more. And Wish is basically you can use it and then switch out to one of your pets to use it on one of them. So if I switch out into Sporling, he'll heal for 50% of his health. Since he has a ton of health, he'll heal up for a crap ton if I use a Wish on him. So I thought that'd be cool, give him a little bit extra healing, plus have a way to actually counter undeads, since he cannot go against undead since he's humanoid. He'll just get destroyed. So that's a reason you don't see Sporlings that much, because undeads are the most popular pet in PvP. And then my third pet is an undead himself, because undeads are just really good. Their racial is OP, where you come back to life for a turn and then... Anyways, the reason I have Widget the Departed in here is for what his namesake. He's the heal killer. I was going against a whole bunch of other teams that were healing, and while this team does heal up pretty nicely, it's not a healing exclusive team, and it doesn't really do that much damage since Anti-Valk and Dragon Destroyer don't really... he does decent amount of damage with his jab ability, but this guy, it's like a wet noodle with a snap. And yeah, so I was going against other teams where I didn't have heal killer on my team, and they were just able to outlast me with their heals. Well, not really outlast me. I gave up because the match was too long. I was like, I can't do this for 15 minutes. I'm just going to give up. None of us are dying. We're healing too much. So yeah, I switched because there's a lot of healers out there, thanks to Son of Seath teams where they heal up for a crap ton. So I had to go into this guy because his Call Darkness ability plus Spectral Strike. Call Darkness reduces healing by 50%, and that's basically why he's in here, only for that. Plus he can actually use Call Darkness with Spectral Strike to hit him really hard, and then pounce he's really fast. 325 is really fast for an undead, so his pounce actually does like double damage more often than not. He's basically in here to kill healers, and healers are usually not that fast, so he's able to outspeed them and do the extra damage with pounce, where it does more damage if you're faster than your opponent. Plus, reducing heals by 50%. I mean, if I use Call Darkness, my team obviously suffers as well, but it was a totally great inclusion to this team. It actually made it viable. Okay, so this first team we're going against, the exact reason I put Widget the Departed in this team is to take out this Son of Seath right here. So I'm going to go straight into Darkness, and then he sets up his Animus thing, so he actually gets a nice little miss right here, which means he gets no healing at all, and I get off two really hard hitting abilities. A pounce should be enough to take him out, but he switches into the Spirit Competition, which means I'm going to switch straight into my Sporling since he has that sweet type advantage against him. I'm going to go into Crouch, which is really good against hard hitting abilities, like his Liftoff. And I'm just going to start spamming jab until he dies. I'm also going to put up a Leech Seed to heal up a little bit. Then he goes into its Tetsuo. Luckily for me, I'm faster than him, so I'm just going to jab him once, and he should be dead, which means he's going to get no heals off, and I think this is where he quits out because he knows he's going to lose, since I countered him pretty nicely. This next one is against someone who's kind of a new player. He's running an SS Cockroach, an SS Snail, and a Robo Chick. An SS Snail is literally the worst breed you can get for a snail, because even at speed, it's still super slow. Like, the only thing is an outspeed like other snails. So I go into Widget Departed because I know he has a hard-hitting beast-type attack, so I'm just going to spam that until the snail is dead. And then he sets up his goo and then goes into dive, which means he's going to hit me pretty hard. I'm just going to set up the weather just for fun, I guess. I could have just kept spamming pounce and it would have been fine. And then I go into a Spectral Strike, hits him. He's able to survive with 34 health, which means he's able to refresh goo on me. And He was able to do quite a bit of damage to my Witches of the Party before dying, which I was not expecting. So, whatever. I'm just going to hit him a couple more times, and I'm going to just die from the dot. He sets up his wind-up, and if he was a smart player, he would save the wind-up and just use one of his heals, or any of his other abilities. But he wastes the wind-up on my widget who's on his turn of immunity, so whatever. I go into Sporling, since he counters Robochick pretty hard, because Crouch is really good against hard-hitting abilities like wind-up. And plus I have one of my moves is a type advantage against him, so I set up Leech Seed, and I'm healing up for quite a bit. You probably wouldn't have even known I just got hit by a wind-up by looking at my health, with how much I've been healing up every turn. He's able to get off one more wind-up though when Crouch is over, so it works out nice and dandy for him. I'm going to try to get off one more jab. I know I'm going to take a ton of damage right here since I'm not going to refresh Crouch yet. And then I'm going to refresh Crouch now since I have the sweet type advantage against his cockroach. None of his abilities can actually hit me all that hard. I'm going to set up Leech Seed to heal up a little bit. I'm going to try to spam jab until he's dead. And then I'm going to switch out on the turn that his swarm is over, where you can start hitting me actually a little bit harder, and he just refreshes swarm again. So like, whatever. And then I noticed my Crawdad actually has like the perfect counter to his cockroach. I set up shield, which means I'm going to no longer be taking damage from his cockroach at all. Plus one of my moves is a type advantage against him, so I probably could just went into this guy a little earlier. Which means this guy is completely screwed, there's no way he can come back from this, and I've pretty much won this. So one more snap, and I win.